When your organ piece needs a soft solo sound in one hand or the other, there are many good possibilities, even on small organs. My name is Kimberly Stone, and this video will introduce you to some of the best ones. First, what makes up a good solo sound? The most important feature is prominence. The solo sound must stand out from the accompaniment, which is played by the other hand and the pedal. In this first example, the right hand solo is barely heard over the accompaniment. In this example, the solo is so prominent that the accompaniment is barely audible. The best soft solo stops or combinations are a good fit for the type of piece, they balance well with the accompaniment, and they are musically pleasing. Let's explore a few. Good solo sounds begin with your ear. Listen, for example, to this piece, played on a very plain combination of stops. What type of solo sound does your ear say would be the best fit for this piece? A flute bass sound? A warmer principal sound? A combination of colorful flute pitches? Or a reedy sound? Any single 8-foot flute could become a nice soft solo as long as the accompaniment is less prominent. Let's try the 8-foot flute on the grate as a solo, the softer 8-foot flute on the swell as the accompaniment, with soft 16 and 8 in the pedal. If that flute solo is not prominent enough, we have two choices. We might soften the accompaniment by using the expression pedal, or we might add one or more stops to strengthen the solo. A gap combination, flutes 8 and 2, make a soft but bright solo. For this, we'll go to the swell. For the accompaniment, we'll use flutes 8 and 4 in the grate. You might try a 4-foot flute as a solo. Let's choose the 4-foot flute we like best. I like the 4-foot flute octaviant on the grate. We'll accompany it with a Celeste combination on the other manual with soft 16 and 8 in the pedal. The tremulant can enhance the solo line beautifully, but for the best effect, it should be used only if it is tastefully regulated. That is, it's not too fast and not too deep. In addition to flutes at 8/4 and 2-foot pitches, many swell divisions also have flutes at 2 2/3 and 1 3/5 pitch. These so-called mutations are commonly labeled nasard, nasat, or tierce. Either the 2 2/3 alone or both mutations can be added to the 8-foot, the 8 and 4-foot, or the 8, 4, and 2-foot foundation stops to add color. For example, let's go to the swell and add the nasard 2 2/3 to the 8-foot flute. Add the 4-foot flute to that. Now add the tierce 1 3/5. And take away the 4-foot flute, leaving only the 8, 2 2/3, and 1 3/5, a combination we call the sesquialtra. Now, add the 4-foot flute back in, and finally add the 2-foot flute to complete what we call the cornet, a rich and powerful 5-pitch combination. Notice that as the solo combination grew, so did the accompaniment in order to maintain a good balance between the two. If you want a warmer, richer solo sound, begin with a single 8-foot principle. It can get even richer by adding other 8-foot flues, such as hybrids and flutes that blend well with the 8-foot principle. You can even couple the accompaniment to the solo, as long as the lines do not cross. This solo combination, consisting of all the 8-foot foundations that blend, can be most beautiful and satisfying. If you prefer, you can build gently upward and still produce a soft solo. For example, Principle 8 and Flute 4. Or Principles 8 and 4, which begins to enter the realm of a bright solo. If If what your ear wants to hear is more contrast from the accompaniment, you can lean in the direction of the reeds. The softest reed solo isn't really a reed at all, but an edgy string, like a gamba, that sounds like a mild reed. The next step up would be a soft 8-foot reed like an oboe, chrome horn, clarinet, French horn, English horn, or shalmai. You could round out the tone of any of these soft 8-foot reeds by adding an 8-foot hybrid, flute, or string. What about the left hand? Do the same types of combinations work in the lower range? Most of the time, yes, but there are some cautions. As you go lower in range, the prominence of the solo begins to fade. Likewise, when the accompaniment moves up in range, it becomes more prominent. We might compensate for these conditions by closing the expression pedal on the accompaniment. Another way to compensate is to build the solo by adding a 4 or 8-foot stop. And still another way might be to reduce the accompaniment. Be careful with low-range solo combinations of 8 and 2 2/3. The 2 2/3 pitch becomes more prominent in the lower range, sometimes overpowering the 8-foot stop. One of the most beautiful solo and accompaniment combinations is the rich solo in the tenor range. I'll sign off by playing a piece that blossoms under that very condition. Thank you for joining me today as we explored creating soft solo combinations at the organ.